So in this video, I'm going to focus on the top business trends that will shape the workplace and different markets in 2023. I'll begin with an overview of the major challenges that the economy and the labor market will face this year. Primarily, of course, inflation and interest rates, but also the top trends to keep an eye on in 2023 that have been discussed by the Harvard Business School and many of their faculty. All right. So the trends include hiring top talent, building employee trust, the constraints of entrepreneurs, changing incentives to lure back what we call quiet quitters, and offering hybrid work arrangements, prioritizing social purpose, and adapting to different regulatory changes that have occurred. Okay, so the Great Resignation and record turnover rates characterized by the past 12 to 18 months have been noted, and companies may have an opportunity now to lure back former what we call all-star employees that they really didn't want to lose in the first place. Okay, so Professor Groisberg from Harvard, his view is that companies will look to rehire former high-performing employees that left on good terms. Now, his argument is that as this possible recession looms, it's going to be critical for companies to have star talent in their most critical positions. So in the past 50 years, we've seen many companies change their perspective on rehiring former employees, at least under certain conditions. However, we need to emphasize that strong talent is invaluable at any point in the economic cycle, and it's most important in economically challenging times like we might see. So therefore, if companies need to upgrade their talent and deal with challenges ahead, perhaps they should think about looking at bringing back those former employees. So there's also the importance of building employees' trust, because companies are going to face opposing directions in managing their employees in 2023. And this is going to challenge their ability to maintain the trust. And we know that from many things of research and better business. So companies will be pulled in these different directions and trying to manage the employees this year. And it's going to challenge their ability to have that trust with those employees. In one direction, it's going to lead these companies to increase employee fears of job security. The fear of job security, that's the top fear by employees, 85% of employees globally. And that's according to scientific research. Now, even as companies cut back in some areas, they will be hiring in others. And that's going to be whipsawing employees who won't know whether their job's safe or not. Now, this will lead to the well-researched drop-off in engagement and risk-taking that accompanies the fear of job loss. Now, the other direction will lead companies to put more demands on employees by pressing for a return to more in-person work and other actions to rebuild frayed company cultures. The pandemic was a game changer for employee trust, and employees have responded to that wake-up call with a realization that their first obligation to themselves is to live a life worth living. Now, inspiring employees to abandon the flexibility they have come to rely on will be a tough row to hoe, and newly empowered employees will continue to push back on requirements that impinge on their view of what is important in their lives. So in summary, employees will receive mixed messages from their employers. You don't matter at all, and you matter greatly. So how they reconcile these tensions will determine the level of trust employees will give to them. So there's also going to be constraints on entrepreneurs. In a year with more economic concerns and the downfall of several innovative unicorns last year, the 2023 will bring more constraints to entrepreneurs than we saw in 2022. So it's been suggested that entrepreneurs will be expected to be scrappier than ever by their boards and investors, and this is going to require more detailed and thoughtful strategies around growth and doing more with less. So while there will still be many investors writing checks,